When something's uncomfortable, you avoid doing it. It's a mental hurdle to have to go and do this thing, whether it's a workout or whether it's preparing a meal or whether it's anything else, whether it's, talking to people and building relationships, whatever it might be. If it's uncomfortable, there is going to be this friction involved in doing it, right? So things have momentum in our lives. Behaviours and mindsets, they already have their own momentum. They're already going. And I've said this before, where the reason you're not doing what you want to do is because it's not what you normally do, right? So that we are kind of always just doing what we normally do. That, like I said, all these things have momentum in our lives, and they're just going, they're just happening. And unless we sort of consciously intervene and direct them elsewhere, then you're just going to continue doing what you normally do. And we do what we normally do because it's familiar. It's natural to just fall into that behavior or that mindset because it's just part of the normal set of things. But it creates this conundrum, how do you make something part of the normal set of what you do, right? And the first piece is to become familiar with it, because familiarity creates a sense of safety and bonding. You can't force yourself to do these things, right? So you can't force a new behavior into a system, right? So we are sort of a system of behavior that interacts, all these different things interacting with each other. And you can't force it to happen, but what you can do is you can seduce it to happen. You seduce yourself into this behavior that you want to do, right? So make it attractive, make it something you want to do. You can't push these things onto you. You can imagine if in a seduction scenario where someone was going to try and approach someone and start getting to know them and start to attract them, then just sort of forcing this thing, come with me, do this. It's not going to be very attractive or exciting. It's really our relationship with ourselves and the actions that we do that is what needs to be worked on. And it's a really great way to think about it, right? So instead of just trying to just jam a behavior into your system and then creating a sense of discomfort and unfamiliarity, and it's just when you're in an unfamiliar place, there's just nothing about it that makes you want to be there. It's you have to push yourself to stay there, and you're not going to be attracted to do that, to be around it, to get into it. It's not going to. It's just definitely not something natural that you're going to start to fall into and create a routine and habit around. So familiarity is so important. So I think what this tells us to do is make that the first priority, whether it be a diet or an exercise program or whatever else is you're trying to do to increase your well-being in life. If it's an unfamiliar behavior or thought pattern or whatever it is, become familiar with it first. So don't try and be good at it. Just try and understand it, get to know it. Create any level of comfort with it, and that's when you're first introduced to something, it isn't going to be comfortable and it isn't going to seem natural, and it's going to you're not understanding it, not connecting with it, right? So then once something is familiar and then it feels safe to engage with, then you can start to build a better relationship with it. So this is a sensitive, fragile process, and by making it too unfamiliar and difficult, then you just easily scared off. So the first priority is to become comfortable with it, become familiar, and create a safe and loving environment to start engaging in this thing.